Hello, everyone. We will now talk about more about virtual reality and 4D now. I'm Pavel. I work for 3D Repo. Elliot is from Bryden, and we will talk about our collaboration on a project/product. Which is 4D for VR. It's interesting. It's getting to stage where we have various technologies emerging, and now we can mix and match them, right? It's no longer just VR, but we can have more functionality in VR. 3D Repo, we are next generation common data environment, if you like. We're building a platform for collaboration in construction industry, or a platform for collaboration in built environment where we are building infrastructure in a cloud where you can upload your data, all sorts of data, during the whole project lifecycle. And once you have it there, then we are building applications on top of it. At the moment, we have a web viewer with really good, nice, neat issue tracking functionality, and also another application at this stage is our virtual reality application. We did one for health and safety, and we will talk more about the 4D one in a second. And security is becoming not just a buzzword, but a real issue these days. We're working also with all these partners on a security innovation project, Horizon 2020. So this is 3D Repo in a nutshell, in a quick video. It runs on a web browser. So that's one of the key features or key aspects. You don't need to install anything. We can support really large models, really pushing it until the breaking point. But at the moment, we can support project in Canary Wharf, for example, with all not just the geometry, but also the metadata. But we try to also kind of tap into the GIS world, because for us, BIM and GIS is just the difference is just the scale. It's not really. It's still, you have some geometry, you have some data, somehow structured. So we are fairly agnostic. And so this is, for example, a project from Hull, where we worked with Balfour Beatty and Aruba on some improvements of the streets there. And I hand over to Ellie to talk more about Bryden Wood.
Thanks. Hi, so I'm Elite. I'm the head of VR and AR in Bryden Wood. Who are we? So we are an integrated design and operation consultancy for the built environment. And our activities kind of span from analysis to business strategy, engineering and architecture. Will that work as well? Yeah. We have a wide range of large-scale projects such as healthcare, residential, aviation, pharmaceutical, highways, and more. And BIM is very inherent to the way we work. So we also help to shape BIM as an approach for the construction industry. We have a very unique approach to BIM and big data, which allows us to broaden and maximize the potential of the digital models that we work with. And actually, it links to every step along the process. So it starts from the business strategy all the way to the actual design. Our pioneering VR and AR work is actually part of our growth of the digital capabilities that we have. We focus mainly on creativity, productivity, collaborative work, and data analysis. And they are all integrated into our existing workflows. Basically, the way we work is we work with our internal teams and our clients to develop bespoke VR and AR tools that would be part of the design process or standalone features. We use AR and VR for strategy, design, and delivery. And as part of our R&D, it's kind of quite laggy, but as part of our R&D work, we creatively develop features and then partner with companies like 3D Repo to implement them in a more complete way and applicable way. And I think that the 4D sequence feature is a good example for the great collaboration that we had.
Yeah, from our side, from 3D Repo side, has been an interesting collaboration between us as a software developers / BIM consultants and multidisciplinary team as Bryden Moody's, right? We started our collaboration on a pilot for Highways England, more than a year ago. And we kept in touch, and then finally we got to this VR project. And what we try to do is a little bit more than a VR, because I guess this guy really represents what is the definition of VR these days. You have someone with a plastic box on the face and doing this. And we try to bring slightly, more functionality, more sense into it, because, well, yes, you are in VR and you can, fly around the space, and it's like, oh my God, it's like being there, because yes, that's what VR does. But we try to bring a little bit more features into it, and also somehow bring it closer to the design teams, or to engineers, architects, and what have you. So little process graph. The way the plugin works, or our application works, is you have your BIM authoring tool of your choice, where you can specify custom 4D property, which means you call it, I don't know, property is called phasing, and then you go for stages are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1.1, it's sequential. This is exported with IFC as a IFC property set, so we're playing by rules here. We try to adhere to the open BIM standards as much as possible. There is a lot of headache around BIM, and we noticed some BIM fatigue. There were just too many acronyms and a lot of things. We try to keep things simple and really to the point. So using the being nice, exporting the IFC property set, we can upload stuff to our clouds, to 3D Repo, where the model is crunched, and there will be a 3D Repo timeline available on the web. This is something in the development, which we will have in the platform by Christmas. And from the cloud, we can push the content to web browser, as you saw in the videos before, or into the virtual reality, which, by the way, I hope some of you already tried our VR application in a foyer. If you didn't, then please give it a go after this presentation. And yeah, this is Bryden Wood Office, and this is what you need to set up a VR, which is no longer a novel thing, but yeah, just quickly recap. What you really need is space 3 by 3. If you have more, great. If not, then that will do. Then you need a headset, some controllers, some lighting towers, which scan all the gear. You need decent PC with a good gaming card. So this was one lessons we learned. Your BIM graphics card and doesn't really work for VR. Don't ask me why, but it is actually the irony of it, right? You can buy cheaper gaming card, and you can have more out of your VR, and probably out of your BIM as well. But yeah, that's how they sell graphics cards. Then you need Steam VR, which is the application which links our applications with the hardware, and of course you need 3D Repo account and the application itself. And that's it. So this is the video from the app. Please try it yourself. And this is what it does. So you are in virtual reality. You have your controller, and then you can go through the sequences. You can go back and forth in time. So hence the 4D in VR. Yeah, how cool is that? So and of course, yes, you can fly around the model and investigate and do what you need to do. And it's a fairly simple and straightforward functionality, but this is what we try to do. We try to bring more and more useful features. And this was really a nice collaboration with Bryden Wood, because we talked quite a bit for quite a long time, and then we identified what would be a really nice feature to have, which help them to impress their clients, and also in their workflows. So just to wrap it up, from our side, it was interesting experience that the development team, the software developers could meet people from the other industry, from engineers, which hasn't been happening so much. And now we live in an age that this is possible, right? It's no longer we have this huge software company which sells licenses by thousands. These days, if you have some niche need, you can speak to companies like, for example, ours, and there's more and more people, more and more software developers / BIM consultants having ability to develop software. So this is what I'm quite excited to see, that how these two worlds are kind of getting closer, and result of this is one of applications like this.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the most, the important point in here is that we took the BIM models that we already have and we just used more and more information from it to create this feature. So it's not any additional work to it. It's just part of the workflow.
Exactly.
Just presenting it in a different way.
Yeah, that's we try to be more clever about BIM. Although this sounds a little bit cocky, I know, but we don't want to get caught into arguments like about the acronyms and is this CDE, is this not CDE, and design teams produce a lot of data on daily basis, and there is a lot of it is actually quite useful, but never makes it further than the hard drive on the computer. So we just thought it's a little bit of a shame, and this is what this collaboration was all about. And I will thank you, and if you have any questions.
Thank you, Pavel, Elite, everyone.
Thank you.
I think in the digital journey that we're all on in the construction sector, a very agile and fast-moving approach to innovation is something that we all need. I certainly, since I've known these guys for the last 4+ years, I've supported them, not through money. I don't have an awful lot of money. When I do get a couple of grand to spend on something, I actually went to them. And I introduced them to Highways England a long time ago. Did I make the BW relationship? Am I going to get credit for that one?
Yes,
no?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Definitely.
Both organisations, I've worked with both. They're incredibly cutting edge and fantastic. They use the tools that we've got to the best of their ability, and when they're not there, they then go and hunt out other partners to work with. And I think we're going to see one of those in flux now. Hold on a minute, Anthony. Has anyone got any questions for Bryden Wood and 3D Repo?
Hi there. So what's being demonstrated this evening is how much data can be held and then visualized through this kind of portal, let's say. Mm-hmm. Is there other methods that you can extract that data and use it for kind of other means, like not visualize it through your software, but just extract it and use it in calculations or other?
Also, one of the things which is currently in our kitchen is we try to get more data, more of the work which is focused more on the information itself, not necessarily about the fancy visualization. So we are looking into now how can we use tools like a Node-RED, which is visual scripting for JavaScript visual scripting. I would call it Grasshopper for web if you're familiar with Grasshopper or Dynamo. It's something similar for web, and this is it's an interesting tool to have a closer look or better look on your metadata, for example. So the data is already in the cloud, and we're looking into different ways how to get them. And the way you visualize them, it's the other thing. But yes, we are definitely looking also into the, shall we say, more drier ways of working with data, not just fancy visualizations.
I think that's certainly true from the work that we did together. I had lots of different data sets in lots of different formats. So traditional CAD-based stuff, geospatial when we started working on that, but also GeoJSON and SQL were packaged up datas that I was wanting to hand off into your platform to then view. Do you remember we had a really sad highways-based example around a gate. There's lots of gates. In fact, there was 100 gates on this new scheme that I built. I passed over the 3D model, which was dumb. It was just geometry. And then these guys added the data that I held in a spreadsheet for that particular example.